$1,000 to loan? Me. Big money. Big money. They think I got a G. No. Hello, welcome to my channel, 100 Days with Kadra. We are on day 32 of building our personal constitution. We are in our community amendment. This section will be discussing how to support others without losing yourself. All right. This is extremely important because we want to maintain healthy relationships. Even when people mean well, if you feel used, you will not like them. You will hate them. You'll think that they're only friends with you so you can give them something. But that's far from the case. You just don't know how to say no yet, babe. And saying no helps you maintain those healthy relationships. Another reason is because it will promote your personal well-being. When you set those boundaries, you can be your best self. When you don't have those boundaries, girl, you are ugly, okay? Ugly in the inside, and it comes out. Having those boundaries is a practice of self-care that allows you to rejuvenate, right? So when people do ask for your support, because we love people, we love to support, that you're actually able to give them a genuine yes, that you're actually able to fully give them the support that you are willing to give, or the kind of support that they want. And lastly, it helps you foster your emotional resilience so you do not burn out. When you feel burnt out, it can turn into harshness. Again, you become ugly in the inside. You will lose your sense of empathy because everyone's always asking you. You never know how to say no. And you're like, fuck it, I don't care. Clearly, everybody has something going on. I don't care. Figure it out. I'm done. That's the type of response you might give. The first thing we have to do is set those boundaries. We'll use my favorite acronym, WHA. I'll say it again for you. WHA. It's the who, what, where, when, why, and how. We're going to use this acronym to help us establish these boundaries. Now, of course, every situation, every purpose, every person, every kind of support is different, and we cannot predict every single thing that anyone's ever going to ask us in this world. That's crazy, right? But we can kind of establish how we want to go about things, kind of establish if someone is in a certain relationship with us, if they're asking for a certain thing, how we will respond. Of course, you will change over time, but it's at least a good thing to get that into practice. To make this easier, I have decided to use my whiteboard. All right, we are discussing the WHA. It's a little junky, it's a little ghetto, but it will do. Okay, first, the who. Who's asking? Is it friends and family, the people that you love, the people that are so close to you? Or is it a stranger, someone you don't even know? This matters. Imagine a loved one asking you for $100. You're more likely to give it. Versus a complete stranger, heck no. I mean, you might say yes, but you're less likely to, right? So the who matters. And even with your friends and family, is it an acquaintance? Is it a best friend? Is it a really, really close friend that you haven't seen in a long time, but you guys love each other and you know you guys will be in each other's wedding? Who is it? What tier are they in? The next, which is usually the most important one, is the what, okay? What are they asking for? Are they asking for financial support? Are they asking just for a listening ear? Do they want a hug, or do they need you to help them mount a TV? What kind of support are they asking for? And what kind of support are you comfortable with? That's the most important thing. Some people aren't comfortable giving money. I know for me, whenever someone asks for money, let's say someone asked me to loan them $1,000. Whoa, that's a lot, right? I don't feel comfortable loaning friends, family, or strangers money. However, I do feel comfortable gifting them a smaller amount that helps them towards their goal. So I will likely say, hey, I can't give you 1,000, but I can't loan you 1,000, but I can give you 100. That's something I'm comfortable with. A listening ear, right? You got to ask yourself, are you in the emotional capacity to give someone that listening ear, to accept any trauma or baggage they're wanting to dump on you? I mean, we love them, but they're dumping on you, right? You got to ask yourself, are you empathetic and compassionate enough to be a listening ear, right? Let's say your friend needs a hug. Are you uncomfortable with physical touch? You need to define that. And of course, it matters who's asking. If a stranger says, hey, can I get a hug? You're more likely to say no, versus if a loved one, your mom or your dad's going through something, they're like, I need a hug. You're more likely to give it to them. So, of course, the what matters. The where. Where do they need this support? Is it in your town? Do they live 3,000 miles away? Where is it? For example, depending on the who, the what, the where heavily dictates my decision. For instance, I have a friend that lives in Nashville. Love her, love her, love her, love her. If she said, hey, I am going through something, could you be able to drive down and talk to me or whatever, right? Let's say, and we talk on the phone all the time, but this is something she really needed me to physically be there. Okay. Well, I live in Kentucky. She lives in Nashville. It's like a 3-hour drive. I love her. We're best friends for life. I'm making that drive. I'm making that drive. However, let's say my friend in London, right? Love her, love her, love her, love her. She calls me and she says she's going through it and she's like, hey, can you come to London so we can talk? Kentucky to London, baby. I can't do that, even though you're one of my best friend. You're asking me for something that I could possibly give you, right? But you're too far away. It matters, it matters, it matters. All right, now we have the when. Just like our candy, is it now or is it later? Are you someone that likes people to ask for support in advance? So, for instance, let's say someone says, hey, next week I'm moving into my new place. Would you be able to help me move in my couch? You feel more inclined to say yes. You're like, oh, yes, of course, I would do that, right? Of course, it matters who's asking. Of course, I'm going to put this in with physical, right? It's a physical ask. Perhaps they don't live too far. Perhaps they live in your town. So you're more inclined to say yes versus if they're like, hey, can you help me move in? And also I live across the country. No. Right? So you got to ask yourself, are you that type of person that needs to be asked in advance? You can't be asked in that moment. Or are you someone that is okay with being asked now, depending on what it is? Right? I know for me, a physical ask, I typically don't mind if it's now. However, if I'm not free, guess what? I am not going to move my schedule around to try to fit that in. But if your friends and family know you and love you, they will know that you are someone that needs to be asked in advance, or they know that you're a busy person that you need to call or text. So you kind of just have to establish this with the people around you and just let people know, like, hey, like if you ever need help with anything, just hit me up. Just let me know a few days before. See? Healthy boundary, healthy boundary. Then it's the why, right? This is usually super important to people because they're like, okay, if I'm going to give you support, damn it, it better be good support, right? So let's say you have a close friend, love them, and they're asking for money. Okay, cool. The where doesn't really matter now. Let's just say through Zelle, you have Zelle, right? And they're asking for money right now. You're like, okay, why do you need the money? Maybe you're curious. You're like, oh, well, I let my boyfriend use my credit card and he maxed out. Oh, baby, that's a hard no. That might be a lesson you just have to learn. Why are you giving that man your credit card? You see? But versus, let's say it's a stranger. Oh my God. And they're asking for money. Oh my God. And it's in your city. So you're like, okay. And they're asking right now. And you ask, why? Well, I just got fired from my job because I had a baby and they have a prejudice against me. Now, of course, no one's going to say that directly and there's usually a story behind it, but I would feel more inclined to, you know what? I got $1 for you. You know what? I got a little something for you. The why is important. You don't want to support something that is negative or hurting someone or a bad habit. So maybe you are someone that requires the why when someone is asking for support and you need to establish this. I know some people who don't care about the why, right? Let's say you ask me for something and I don't want to know why. I don't need to know why, okay? Just, I need to be asked in advance. You know, there's some caveat, but let's say that person just doesn't need that why. Then maybe this part doesn't concern you as much. But other people who have like maybe a sensitivity around their money, or they're very picky about their time, or they're emotionally not that well to receive other people's traumas and baggage, but if it's something big enough where they feel like, you know what, this is bigger than me, I want to help you, the why plays a big part. And lastly, the how. How do you want to give support? Now, I give the example of, let's say, a loved one asking for money. They're asking you, hey, can you loan me X, Y, and Z? I had said I don't feel comfortable loaning money, right? I do not feel comfortable with supporting someone in that way. However, I'm comfortable with gifting a smaller amount that will help them towards their goal. I understand that money is a tricky thing to play with loved ones and strangers, and I don't ever want to have something over their head or mine regarding money. So I always gift a smaller amount. Someone asks me for 1,000. I'm like, I don't have 1,000, but I got 100 for you, babe. Hope this works. I love you so much. Maybe you're someone that isn't really into physical touch, and you're like, if it's something really meaningful, as in like the why, like, oh my God, my mother died. And then you're like, oh, of course I'll give you a hug, right? But if their why is like, oh, whatever comes to mind, I don't know. I'm a hugger, okay? I'm a hugger, right? Then you're more likely to be like, oh, I can't give you a hug, but I can give you this and that. Another example, this is very specific, but let's say you have friends, really close friends who are new mothers. Oh my God, new mothers, we love babies, right? And your friend invites you over and you want to give her support. Maybe you're not that type of person that likes to change diapers. I know I'm not. And I told my friends this very early on, hey, any type of support that you need from me, I got you. But changing diapers, I will clean your house if you need. I will cook you some food. I will bring you some groceries. I'll do whatever kind of support you need me to do at that moment. But I'm not the type of person to change a baby's diaper. I'm not. That doesn't make me a bad person. I just don't like it. I had to change diapers for a long time. I'm done, right? So how I give that support may be different from how others will give that support, and you need to define that. I defined that with my friends when we were talking about marriages and babies and blah, blah, blah. And I explicitly told me like, hey, like I said, I can give you support, but probably not in the ways that other people are willing to. I'll give you $200 before I change that diaper. Okay? Everyone's different. And that explains the why. A little FYI, I am creating a personalized affirmation app. And if you haven't done so already, go to my description box, join our emailing listing if you're interested for when it comes out, and to answer my survey so I understand what your needs are. Thank you. I love you. And let's continue with the rest of the video. Again, use the "wha" as a reference point of the type of support that you are willing to give to others so that you don't lose yourself or feel like you're being used and disregarded. The next thing we'll be talking about, and the last thing we'll be talking about, and probably the most important thing we'll be talking about, is how to say no. These are for my people pleasers and yes ma'am geezers, okay? When you say no, you don't have to be mean. You don't have to be rude. It depends on, the person, what they're asking for. Is it crazy? Are they talking to you crazy? Of course, use discernment. But overall, you could be nice. And honestly, you saying no is not the end of the world. Just because you said no, the world doesn't collapse. You are good. Another thing, just because you say no doesn't mean you don't like them. I mean, how many times have your mom and your dad said no when you asked for money or for candy as a child? They told you no every chance they got, but you still love them. So we are going to break it up into 3 categories: how to say no to physical support, how to say no to financial support, and how to say no to emotional support, which I think are the 3 biggest ones. And I think like any example falls under those, and will overall just be a guide for any outlandish, very specific example that you have in your life that I would have never guessed. Let's say someone's asking you for physical support, and we talked a little bit about these in our example diagram drawings, whatever, right? Let's say someone asks you, hey, can you help me mount my TV? Can you help me take my couch up 13 flights of stairs? Okay, let's just say at the end of the day, you want to say no, all right? 1, take a deep breath, okay? Let's say they ask you through text. You don't have to respond immediately. Give yourself some time. It's not urgent. Just relax, okay? You're busy. You're a boss, babe, okay? You got businesses, right? Then you come back, all right? Cool. Okay, you can say, hey, that sounds like something that is way outside my capabilities. Or you could say, hey, I really don't have the time for it. Sorry, love you, and I hope you find someone that can help you. See? Super sweet. You move on. But let's say it's a really close friend or family member. You're like, God, like I just don't want to take the couch up a billion flights of stairs, but I still want to like help them a little. You could say again with the, hey, this is outside my capabilities, but I can help you with setting up once you move everything in, right? They're more likely to be like, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to be doing that later on this evening. You're like, great, I'll love to come and help you with that. You can offer them an alternative to whatever physical support that they are requesting. You don't have to give them exactly what they want, right? You want to work within your capabilities. For financial support, again, with the asking for money, someone asks you, hey, can I get $1,000? Can I get $1? Right? Of course, on how much money they're asking kind of dictates whether or not you're going to say yes or no. But let's say it's something outlandish like, hey, can you loan me $1,000, right? And you're thinking, damn, they think I got $1,000 to loan? Me, big money, big money. They think I got a G. No. You'd be like, hey, I can't loan you a million. Ha! I can't loan you $1,000. That's not something I'm particularly comfortable with doing for people I know, friends and family. I'm not a bank. That's just me. However, I'm willing to gift you, let's say you have $50 to spare, or 100, or whatever you're comfortable giving. Be like, I hope this helps for whatever you're trying to work towards, right? Maybe they told you exactly what it was. Maybe they're being secretive about it, whatever. But let's say you do want to support that person, but you're like, 1,000? No. $50? Yes, right? Or let's say you're someone, you're like, okay, I have no money to give. I'm budgeting and we are tight, okay? You can say, hey, any other time I'd probably say yes and give you blah, blah, blah. However, I'm in a tight space and that's not something I can do right now. I love you so much, right? You move on. That person's not going to hate you. Like, even just hearing that on me, like if I ask my friends for money and they're like, I just don't have it, I'm not going to dislike them. I'm not going to look down on them. If I did, I would be a bad person, right? If your friends look at you different and hate you because you wouldn't just give them money or just loan them money or like go out of your way to, then you need to let them go. They are bad people who feel entitled to your resources, all right? We love supporting others. We love giving, but we need to practice saying no. So when it matters and when it's important, that we can enthusiastically and genuinely want to support that person. That's the most important thing. Imagine you ask for $100 because you're down bad. Your friends are here, brokey, get the fuck out my face. We are not friends anymore. We are not friends anymore. I'm so disrespected. First of all, take the money back. Take the money back. I don't want it, right? If you feel used, if you feel like people are always asking for your money, then you're like, girl, here. You're not going to be genuine about it. You're going to come off harsh and mean-spirited. Okay, so you got to learn how to say no when you don't got it, right? You got to learn how to say no when you just simply don't want to give that now. Okay, now on our last one, emotional support. Now, this is kind of my favorite one because, I don't know, like, I wouldn't say like I came up with this, but in college, my friend, a really close friend of mine that I love, she was going through it, right? It was our, I think, freshman or sophomore year in college. I think it was freshman year in college. And she wasn't her bubbly, outgoing, social self, right? And I noticed that and I was like, ooh, okay, right? And she could come to me about anything, right? On her own terms. I didn't like poke and probe her for it. But let's say I had my own issue, something that I need to get off my chest, off my mind. That's just, oh, right? And I just saw her and I'm like, it looks like she's going through something bigger than me, right? I would ask, hey, are you in an emotional place, emotional capacity to kind of like receive what I have to say right now? Sometimes she would say no, and that's okay, right? You don't know what other people are going through. And this is the perspective of this person asking, right? Right? I would say like, hey, are you in a space where I can kind of say what I need to say right now and kind of just like dump some things? And I had some friends that are like, hey, actually, this isn't a good time. I'm so busy with work or schoolwork or whatever. Like, can we talk maybe this weekend? And I'm like, yes, I would absolutely love to talk this weekend. I even have offered that sometimes. But let's flip it. Let's say you're the person being asked, right? I'm coming in and being like, hey, are you emotionally in that place? Right? And you're like, okay, no. Instead of just being like, no, or like feeling bad or saying yes and then feeling emotionally drained and then feeling used and you're like, you never talk to me unless you want to talk about your own problem. Then we got a problem. But anywho, you want to say, hey, I hear you. I love you. I'm just not in that space right now. Is it okay if maybe we set up something this weekend, come to my place, we can put on a movie, some popcorn, get some food, and we can like chit chat about everything. I'm just so busy, or I'm just so emotional right now that I just can't kind of I can't receive that kind of information right now, right? A real friend, someone that truly loves you, right, will respect that. Be like, you know what? Yes. Actually, yes, we can reschedule it. I love you too. I hope you're doing well. Please reach out to me whenever you can. Usually it's like, oh, okay, shit. I thought I was the only one going through something. And now you know your bestie's going through something. You're like, okay, well, we can talk to each other at a later date. And it feels okay. It's okay to delay it, okay? It doesn't make you a bad person for not receiving your besties or your family's trauma and baggage and hurt immediately when they want to. They have been prepping themselves, right? You gotta think about it. They prepped themselves to call you, to ask you, right? Usually people don't like pick up the phone immediately and call. Sometimes depending on the relationship, but usually you give them a day or two after they're thinking about it, then they want to call you. You had no prep work. Okay, you're not good here, right? You got things due. You can't just throw it all away. Because then when they're talking to you, when they're pouring their heart out, you can't receive it. Because now you're thinking about, oh my God, I got homework due. Or like, oh my God, my boss is on my neck about X, Y, and Z. You're thinking about everything. So while they're talking to you, you're like, yeah. I hear you. Oh, damn, that's crazy. Like, oh, that's so awful. That's horrible. So you want to be able to practice saying, hey, not now, but later. So that way, when you are able to give them that love, it's real. Anywho, I love you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. This one was really fun to make. I haven't used my whiteboard for my videos yet. Maybe I should like get into it. You guys let me know what you think. But we are close to finishing our community amendment. I'll see you in our next video. Like, comment, subscribe, and definitely check out my other channels, Affirmly Sounds for soundscapes and Affirmly Active Affirmations for personalized affirmations and affirmation guided yoga.